Welcome all to English Single channel. Have you ever wondered who brought unforgettable characters like Oliver Twist and Peep to life? Yes, you are right. Uh, Welcome to this deep uh, dive into the life, works, and legacy of Charles Dickens, the genius of Victorian era. So today we are going to discuss about his life legacy of ଚାର୍ଲ୍ସ ଡିକେନ୍। ଯେମିତିକି ତୁମେମାନେ ଜାଣ ଚାର୍ଲ୍ସ ଡିକେନ୍ ବିଲଙ୍ଗସ୍ କରୁଥିଲେ ଭିକ୍ଟୋରିଆନ୍ ଏରାରୁ। ଆମର କୁଇନ୍ ଭିକ୍ଟୋରିଆ ଯିଏକି ଆମର 1837ରୁ 1901 ତାଙ୍କ ଟାଇମ୍ ପିରିୟଡ଼ ଥିଲା। ତ ଚାର୍ଲ୍ସ ଡିକେନ୍ ସେଇ ପିରିୟଡ଼ରେ ହିଁ ଯଦି କହିବା ଇନ୍ ଦି ଡୋମେନ୍ ଅଫ୍ ନୋଭେଲ୍, ତ ଯାହାଙ୍କ ନାଁ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଆସେ ସେ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ଆମର ଚାର୍ଲ୍ସ ଡିକେନ୍। 1812ରେ ଯେ ତାଙ୍କର ଜନ୍ମ ହେଇଥିଲା। ଦି କୁଇନ୍ ଭିକ୍ଟୋରିଆ ସି କେମ୍ ଟୁ ଦି ଥ୍ରୋନ୍ ଇନ୍ ଦି ଇୟର୍ ଅଫ୍ 1837। ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି। ତ ଆକର୍ଡିଂ ଟୁ ହର୍ ନେମ୍ ସେଇ ଯେଉଁ ପିରିୟଡ଼ଟାର ନାଁ ଦିଆଯାଇଥିଲା କ'ଣ, ଭିକ୍ଟୋରିଆନ୍ ଏରା। ତ this era or 19th century, it was also the great age of English novel. So this was partly because this essentially middle class form of literary, ତେଣୁ ଲିଟରାରୀ ଆର୍ଟ ଯଦି ମିଡଲ୍ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଦେଖିବ ସେ ଟାଇମ୍ରେ ଥିଲା ନୋଭେଲ୍। ଇଟ୍ ୱାଜ୍ ବାଉଣ୍ଡ ଟୁ ଫ୍ଲୋରିସ୍ ଇନକ୍ରିଜିଂଲି as the middle classes rose in power and importance, partly because of the steady increase of the reading public with the growth of leading libraries and development of publishing in the modern sense। ତେଣୁ ଆମେ ଯଦି ଦେଖିବା ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ ସେତେବେଳେ ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରିଆଲାଇଜେସନ୍ ହେଉଥିଲା, ଲୋକମାନେ ସହର ଆଡ଼କୁ ଆସୁଥିଲେ ଏବଂ କ'ଣ ହେଉଥିଲା ସେତେବେଳର ସୋସାଇଟି ଆମେ କ'ଣ କହିପାରିବା, ଚାର୍ଲ୍ସ ଡିକେନ୍ଙ୍କ ଭାଷାରେ ଇଟ୍ ୱାଜ୍ ଦି ମନେ ପଡ଼ୁନି ମୋର ଏକ୍ଜାକ୍ଟ ଲାଇନ୍ଟା, ବଢ଼ିଆ କଥା କହିଛନ୍ତି ଟେଲ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଟୁ ସିଟିଜ୍ରେ, କି ଇଟ୍ ୱାଜ୍ ଦି ଟାଇମ୍ ଅଫ୍ ୱିଣ୍ଟର, ଇଟ୍ ୱାଜ୍ ଦି ଟାଇମ୍ ଅଫ୍ ସ୍ପ୍ରିଙ୍ଗ, ଇଟ୍ ୱାଜ୍ ଦି ଟାଇମ୍ ଅଫ୍ ୱିଜଡମ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଅଲସୋ ଇଟ୍ ୱାଜ୍ ଦି ଟାଇମ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଫୁଲିଶନେସ୍। ସୋ ଇଟ୍ ୱାଜ୍ ଦି ଟାଇମ୍ ଅଫ୍ ପ୍ରସ୍ପେରିଟି ଆଣ୍ଡ ଇଟ୍ ୱାଜ୍ ଦି ଟାଇମ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଏମିତି କଣ୍ଟ୍ରାଷ୍ଟିଂ ଉପରେ ଲେଖିଛନ୍ତି, ମୁଁ କହିବି ତୁମକୁ। ତ ସେଇଭଳିଆ କଥା ଭିକ୍ଟୋରିଆନ୍ ଏରାରେ ସବୁକିଛି ଦେଖିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ୁଥିଲା। ସେତେବେଳେ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ୁଥିଲା ଧନୀମାନେ କେମିତି ଲକ୍ଜରିୟସ୍ ଲାଇଫ୍ ମେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ସେଠି ପୁଣି ଦେଖିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ୁଥିଲା କେମିତି ୱାର୍କିଂ କ୍ଲାସ୍ର ପିପୁଲ୍ମାନେ କେମିତି ଅତି ହାଜାର୍ଡସ୍ ସିଚୁଏସନ୍ରେ ତାଙ୍କ ଲାଇଫ୍ ଅତିବାହିତ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ଛୋଟ ଛୋଟ ପିଲାମାନେ ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରିରେ ଯାଇ କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ଯେତେବେଳେ ତୁମେ ଦେଖିବ, ମାନେ ଇଟ୍ସ ଏ ଏଜ୍ when the little kids had to go to work in a chimney, work in a factories, work in an industry instead of going to school. So during that era, Charles Dickinson was the giant in the canon of novel। ଡିକେନ୍ସନଙ୍କର ଜନ୍ମ ହେଇଥିଲା 1812 ପୋର୍ଟସମାଉଥରେ ଜନ୍ମ ହେଇଥିଲା born on February 7th 1812 in Portsmouth, England, and it was a major port city of England। Basically his father was a clerk in a navy office, तो बट इट वाज फ्रिक्वेंटली इन डेब्ट। तो तांको बापा डेब्ट कारणरू तांको जेल को पठा जाइथिबो, दैट मीन्स ही वाज इम्प्रिजन्ड। तो लंडन रे तांको इम्प्रिजमेंट रे रखा जाइथिबो। जेतेबेले डिकेन वाज 12 इयर्स ओल्ड, ही वेंट टू वर्क इन ए बोट ब्लैकिंग फैक्ट्री इन लंडन टू सपोर्ट हिज फैमिली। ही वर्क इन ए बोट ब्लैकिंग फैक्ट्री। सो the harsh experience of child had a profound impact on him and become a recurring theme in his writing। ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ପଭର୍ଟିଟାକୁ ସେ ଛୋଟବେଳେ ଦେଖିଛନ୍ତି, ସେଇ ପଭର୍ଟିଟା ତାଙ୍କର ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ଥିମ୍ ହେଇଥିଲା। ତାଙ୍କର ଅନେକ ରାଇଟିଂରେ ତୁମେମାନେ ଦେଖିଥିବ, ସେ ପ୍ରାୟ ଅର୍ଫାନ୍ ବୟର ଚରିତ୍ର ନେଇଛନ୍ତି, ସେ ସେତେବେଳେ ଟାଇମ୍ର ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରିଆଲାଇଜେସନ୍ ବିଷୟରେ ନେଇଛନ୍ତି, ସେତେବେଳେ ସମୟର ସୋସିଆଲ ଇସ୍ୟୁଜ୍ ତାଙ୍କ କାହାଣୀର ମୁଖ୍ୟ ଥିମ୍ ହେଇଛି। So after his father was released, Dickens attended school but was largely self-educated। He worked as a clerk and then as a journalist before making his literary career debut with the publication of Pickwick Papers in 1836। Always remember, the Pickwick Papers was his first novel that was published in the year of 1837। मुख्य थीम थिला फ्रेंडशिप ह्यूमर एंड सोशल satire. It's one type of satire novel that was the debut novel of Charles Dickens. You should remember from exam points of view. Then a career as a writer. Dickens' literary career began with his first serialized novel, The Pickwick Papers, that was published from 1836 to 1837, a humorous and satirical tale that captured the public's imagination. The novel was the first of many that would establish Dickens as a master of character creation, social critique, and narrative style. His novels often focused on the struggles of the poor and the deficiency of social institution. ତେଣୁ ପୁଅର ମା ଯେହେତୁ ସେ ଗୋଟେ ପୁଅର ଫ୍ୟାମିଲିରୁ ବ୍ୟାକଗ୍ରାଉଣ୍ଡ ମାନେ ବିଲଙ୍ଗସ୍ କରୁଥିଲେ, ସେ କଷ୍ଟଟାକୁ ଭୋଗିଛନ୍ତି। ସେ ପ୍ରତିଦିନ ନିହାତି 2 ଘଣ୍ଟା 3 ଘଣ୍ଟା ଲଣ୍ଡନର ଗଳି କନ୍ଦିରେ ବୁଲୁଥିଲେ, ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କ ସହିତ ମିଶୁଥିଲେ, ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର ଇସ୍ୟୁଜ୍ ବିଷୟରେ ଜାଣୁଥିଲେ, ଯେଉଁଟାକି ତାଙ୍କର କ୍ୟାରିୟରକୁ ଆହୁରି ମାନେ କିନଲି ଆଫେକ୍ଟ ପକେଇଥିଲା, ବୁଝିଲେ କି, ତାଙ୍କର ଲିଟରାରୀ କ୍ୟାରିୟରକୁ। So as Dickens' career progressed, he became increasingly concerned with the social problems of Victorian England. His words were deeply critical of the class system, poverty, child labor, legal system and education system. ତେଣୁ ସବୁବେଳେ ମନେ ରଖିବ ତାଙ୍କର ମୁଖ୍ୟ କ'ଣ ଥିମ୍ ଥିଲା, ତାଙ୍କ ଲେଖାର ମୁଖ୍ୟ କ'ଣ ରହୁଥିଲା, ପ୍ରାଧାନ୍ୟ କାହାକୁ ଦେଉଥିଲେ। ସୋ ବେସିକାଲି କ୍ଲାସ୍ ସିଷ୍ଟମ୍ ଯେଉଁ ଆମର ସେତେବେଳେ ସମୟରେ ଯଦି ଦେଖିବା ଡିଫରେନ୍ସଟା ବିଟୱିନ୍ ଅପର କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଲୋୟର କ୍ଲାସ୍ ୱାଜ୍ ରିଏଲି ଦେର୍ ୱାଜ୍ ଏ ହ୍ୟୁଜ୍ ଗ୍ୟାପ୍. That means the upper class people were enjoying their life in luxury, whereas the lower class people were struggling with their life. There was no time limitation. They had to work really hard in a hazardous condition in the factories or in those industries. ମାନେ ବହୁତ hazardous, sorry hazard କହିଦେଲି, hazardous ଅତି hazardous conditionରେ ସେତେବେଳର sanitary system ଠିକ୍ ନଥିଲା, ପୁରା ଯୁଆଡ଼େ ଦେଖିବ କେବଳ ସ୍ମଗ୍ ଥିଲା। ତ ଇଭିନ୍ ଛୋଟ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ମଧ୍ୟ 12 ଘଣ୍ଟା 15 ଘଣ୍ଟା କାମ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ୁଥିଲା ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରିରେ। ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ୱାଜ୍ ଦି ସିଚୁଏସନ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଲୋୟର କ୍ଲାସ୍ ପିପଲ୍। So as Dickens' career progressed, he became increasingly concerned with these social problems, and those themes, those issues became the themes of his novels and writing. Key themes in Dickens' work: social criticism and class struggle. Dickens is perhaps most famous for his critiques of Victorian society. His novels often address the stark difference between the upper class and lower class, highlighting the injustice faced by poor. ତେଣୁ ପୁଅର ମାନେ ଯେଉଁ ସବୁ injustice face କରୁଥିଲେ, ଯେଉଁ discrimination face କରୁଥିଲେ, that we can see in his writing. Second important theme that we see in his writing is child labor and abuse. ତୁମେ ମାନେ ପଢ଼ିଥିବ ଭିକ୍ଟୋରିଆନ୍ ଏରା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଥିଲା ରୋମାଣ୍ଟିକ୍ ଏରା। ୱିଲିୟମ୍ ବ୍ଲେକ୍ ତାଙ୍କର ପୋଏଟ୍ରି ପଢ଼ିଥିବ ନା, ଚିମ୍ନି ସୁଇପର, ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ ଲେବର କଥା କୁହାଯାଇଛି। ଡିକେନ୍ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେ ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ ଲେବର କଥା କହିଛନ୍ତି, ବିକଜ ଇଟ୍ ୱାଜ୍ ଏ staunch critique of child labor, having experienced it firsthand. His novels frequently feature young protagonists who suffer under exploitative system. Oliver Twist ଯଦି ପଢ଼ିଥିବ ନିହାତି ଜାଣିଥିବ, is perhaps the most well-known example where the orphan protagonist is subjected to hard labor in workhouse. ଅଲିଭର ଟୁଇଷ୍ଟର କାହାଣୀ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପ୍ରୋଟାଗନିଷ୍ଟ ଆମେ ପଢ଼ିବା, ସେତେବେଳେ ବି ଗୋଟେ ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ ଲେବର ଅର୍ଫାନ୍ ବୟ ଅଲିଭର ବିଷୟରେ ଆମେ ଜାଣିବାକୁ ପାଇବା। ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ମିନ୍ସ ସେଇ ସମୟର ସୋସିଆଲ ଇସ୍ୟୁ, ଯେଟା ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ ବଡ଼ ଇସ୍ୟୁ ଥିଲା, ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ ଲେବର। ଥର୍ଡ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ଥିମ୍ that we will explore is the corruption of institutions. Dickens frequently addresses the inefficiency and corruption of societal institutions, especially the legal and judicial system. ବ୍ଲିକ୍ ହାଉସ୍ଟା ଯଦି ପଢ଼ିବ ଏଇ ଥିମ୍କୁ ଆମେ ପାଇବା, ଇନଜଷ୍ଟିସ୍ ବିଷୟରେ, ସୋସିଆଲ ସିଷ୍ଟମ୍ ଉପରେ। ତାଙ୍କର ଡିଲେଜ୍, ବ୍ୟୁରୋକ୍ରାସି ହଉ, କରପ୍ସନ୍ ଇନ୍ ଲିଗାଲ ପ୍ରୋସିଡିଙ୍ଗସ୍। ସିମିଲାରଲି ହାର୍ଡ ଟାଇମ୍ସ କ୍ରିଟିକ୍ସ ଦି ମେକାନାଇଜେସନ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଡିହ୍ୟୁମାନାଇଜେସନ୍ ବ୍ରଟ୍ ଆବାଉଟ୍ ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରିଆଲାଇଜେସନ୍। ହାର୍ଡ ଟାଇମ୍ରେ ତୁମେ ପଢ଼ିବ ଇଣ୍ଡଷ୍ଟ୍ରିଆଲାଇଜେସନ୍ ଆମର ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ କେମିତି ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ ସମାଜରୁ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରୁ ଇମୋସନ୍ ଗାୟବ ହେଇଯାଉଛି, ଲୋକମାନେ କେମିତି ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟଟାକୁ ଭଲ ପାଉଛନ୍ତି, ଯେଉଁ ୟୁଟିଲିଟେରିଆନିଜିମ୍କୁ କେତେ ଭଲ ପାଉଛନ୍ତି। ଆମର ମିଷ୍ଟର ଗ୍ରାଡଗ୍ରିନ୍ ତାର ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ ଯେମିତି ସ୍କୁଲ ଟିଚର ଥିବ, ସେ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ କେମିତି ଶିଖଉଥିବ ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ ବେସ୍ଡ ଏଜୁକେସନ୍। ତେଣୁ ଏଜୁକେସନ୍ର ବ୍ୟାଡ୍ ଇମ୍ପାକ୍ଟ କେତେ ରହୁଛି ସୋସାଇଟିରେ, ଏଜୁକେସନ୍ କେମିତି ହେବା ଦରକାର, ସେ ସେଇଥିରେ ଲେଖିଛନ୍ତି ହାର୍ଡ ଟାଇମ୍ସରେ। Redemption and transformation. Many of Dickens' novels center on the theme of personal growth and redemption. A Christmas Carol is a classic example where the miserly Ebenezer Scrooge undergoes a transformative journey to become a more generous and a compassionate person. The struggles of women. Dickens' portrayal of women in his novel is complex, while some female characters such as Agnes Wickfield in David Copperfield रे गोटे एटा गोटे सेमी ऑटोबायोग्राफिकल थिला इन नेचर सेठिरे ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି these are portrayed as paragons of virtue. Many of his female characters also suffer under the societal expectation and limitation of time. Major works ମନେ ରଖିବ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ହେଉଛି ତାଙ୍କର ପିକ୍ୱିକ୍ ପେପର୍ସ ଥିଲା। ପିକ୍ୱିକ୍ ପେପର୍ସ ତାଙ୍କର ଫାଷ୍ଟ ନୋଭେଲ ଥିଲା ଯେଉଁଟା 1837ରେ ପବ୍ଲିଶ ହେଇଥିଲା। ଦେନ୍ Oliver Twist, say 37 to 39. Oliver Twist is the Dickens' earliest novels and remains one of the most famous work. The novel follows the journey of Oliver, an orphan boy who escapes from workhouse and falls in the gang of criminals. Though Oliver's plight, Dickens critiques the harsh condition of workhouse, child labor, and legal system. Then Christmas Carol, another milestone in the British novel. So this novel 1843 ରେ publish ହେଇଥିଲା. Most beloved work follows the transformation of Scrooge, a miserly man who learns the importance of generosity and kindness after being visited by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and yet to come. The story has become a Christmas classic symbolizing the spirit of redemption and compassion. Third, David Copperfield. This was a semi autobiographical novel which traces the life of David Copperfield from childhood to adulthood. It explores themes of personal development, love, betrayal, and societal mobility. It's considered by many as one of Dickens' finest works with an intricate plot and a wide array of vibrant characters. Great Expectation. You must have heard the name of Pip. ପିପ୍ ଯେ ଜଣେ ସିଏ ବି ଗୋଟେ ଅର୍ଫାନ୍ ବୟ ଥିଲା। ତାର କେମିତି ଲାଇଫ୍ରେ ଗ୍ରେଟ୍ ଏକ୍ସପେକ୍ଟେସନ୍ ମାନେ ସିଏ ଗୋଟେ ଗରିବ ଫ୍ୟାମିଲିରୁ ବିଲଙ୍ଗସ୍ କରୁଥିଲା, ମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଅର୍ଫାନ୍ ଥିଲା, ତାର ଭଉଣୀ ପାଖରେ ସିଏ ବଢ଼ୁଥିଲା। କିନ୍ତୁ ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ ସିଏ ଭାବିଛି କି ସହରକୁ ଯାଇକି ସେଠି ପାଠ ପଢ଼ିଛି, ଲାଇଫ୍କୁ ଏନ୍ଜୟ କରିଛି ଏବଂ ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଛି ତାର ସମ୍ପର୍କକୁ। ତ ତାକୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଏଇସବୁ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ତାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଅନନୋନ୍ ସୋର୍ସରୁ ତାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ବଡ଼ ରକମର ହେଲ୍ପ ମିଳିଛି। ମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଭିକ୍ଟିମ୍ ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ଯଦି ଦେଖିବା ସେତେବେଳେ ଟାଇମ୍ରେ ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ ବଡ଼ କ୍ରିମିନାଲ୍ ଥିବ, ଗୋଟେ କ୍ରିମିନାଲ୍ ତାକୁ ହେଲ୍ପ କରିଥିବ। ସେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଜାଣିବାକୁ ପାଇବ କି ବାସ୍ତବରେ ତାକୁ ମିସ୍ ହବିଷମ ହେଲ୍ପ କରିନାହାନ୍ତି, ମିସ୍ ହବିଷମଙ୍କ ଝିଅକୁ ଇଏ ଲାଇକ୍ କରୁଥିବ, ସିଏ ଭାବୁଥିବ ବୋଧହୁଏ ମିସ୍ ହବିଷମ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ମୁଁ ଏଜୁକେଟେଡ଼ ହେବା ଦ୍ୱାରା ମୋର ବାହାଘର ସେ ତାଙ୍କ ଝିଅ ସହିତ କରେଇବେ। ବଟ୍ ପରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଜାଣିବ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଜେନେରେସନ୍ ଲେଡି ୱାଜ୍ ନଟ୍ ମିସ୍ ହବିଷମ ରାଦର ଦ୍ୟାନ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ କ୍ରିମିନାଲ୍ whom he had helped in his childhood. He had offered some food to that criminal unknowingly. ତ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଜାଣିବ ତାର ବହୁତ ଚେଞ୍ଜେସ୍ ଆସିଥିବ, ମାନେ ସିଏ ଯେଉଁ ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଫର୍ମେସନ୍ଟା ଆସିଥିବ, ସିଏ ସେତେବେଳେ ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱ ଦେବ କି ବାସ୍ତବରେ ଏକ୍ସପେକ୍ଟେସନ୍ ବା ଆମ ଲାଇଫ୍ର ହାପିନେସ୍ଟା ନଥାଏ ଲକ୍ଜରୀରେ, ଆମ ହାପିନେସ୍ଟା ଥାଏ ଲଭ୍ରେ, ଲଭ୍ ୱିଥ୍ ଆୱାର ନିୟର୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଡିୟର୍ ୱାନ୍ସ। ସୋ କ'ଣ ହେଇଥିବ? Peep, an orphan who is raised by his sister and husband. He dreams of becoming gentleman and his life changes when mysteriously provided with money by unknown benefactor. ସେଇ ଯେଉଁ unknown benefactor କହୁଥିଲି ସେ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ରିମିନାଲ୍ ଥିବ। The novel delves the themes of class, wealth, guilt and personal growth. Then Bleak House ଏଇଟା ହେଉଛି ଆମର ଲଙ୍ଗ୍ ରନିଂ ଲିଗାଲ୍ କେସ୍। Bleak House critiques the inefficiency of English legal system, focusing on the Chancery Court and its detrimental effects on the lives of those involved. It's a dark, complex novel filled with social criticism and a wide array of characters. Hard Times ଟିକେ ଆଗରୁ ଡିସ୍କସ୍ କରୁଥିଲେ। A novel set in a fictional industrial town, Coketown. Hard Times critics emphasize on fact and utilitarianism. जो कथा कहूली से मिस्टर ग्रांड भी थे जे मिस्टर ग्राडग्रेन सी जे थिबे कौन ना सी गोटे यूटिलिटेरियनिज्म थिले गोटे स्कूल टीचर थिले तांको पिला मानकु फैक्ट बेस्ड एजुकेशन दउथिले ता पिला मानकु तार स्टूडेंट मानकु व्हिच Dickens saw as dehumanizing in the face of industrial progress. The novel follows the life of workers and shows the struggles they face in a society driven by industrialism. They need to tell of two cities. It's set against the backdrop of the French Revolution. This novel contrasts the lives of two cities, that is London and the second one is Paris. It explores themes of resurrection, sacrifice, and the effects of revolution on both individuals and societies. The novel's famous opening line, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. এই কথাটা আমি যে কହୁଥିଲି না, it was the best of times and it was the worst of time. It was the time of wisdom and it was the time of foolishness. এই যে লাইনটা that captures its dual themes of hope and despair. It's the spring of hope and it's the winter of despair. Most famous quote by Charles Dickens. So Dickens' legacy is immense. His works not only saved English literature but also had a profound impact on social reform in his time. His characters and social critics continue to resonate with readers and have been adapted countless times for stage and screen. Dickens' writing, which blends humor with social commentary, remains relevant for its portrayal of universal themes such as struggle between good and evil, between hope and despair, between wisdom and foolishness, and the consequence of social discrimination, social inequality. So, Charles Dickens' works remain an essential part of the literary canon with their deep social criticism, unforgettable characters, and vivid depiction of 19th century England. So, finally, in the year of 1870, he died of हार्ट स्ट्रोक. ତ ତାଙ୍କର ହାର୍ଟ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରୋକ୍ ହେବାର ଗୋଟେ ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଗୋଟେ ଟ୍ରେନ୍ ଆକ୍ସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ହେଇଥିବ. ସେ କିଛି ଦିନ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ବହୁତ ଅସୁସ୍ଥ ଥିବେ, ତାପରେ ଫାଇନାଲି ହାର୍ଟ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରୋକ୍ରେ ହିଁ ତାଙ୍କର ଦେହାନ୍ତ ହେଇଥିବ. ଏଇଟା ଥିଲା ଲାଇଫ୍ ତାଙ୍କର ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟସ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଚାର୍ଲ୍ସ ଡିକେନ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ୟୁ ସୁଡ୍ ନୋ ବିଙ୍ଗ a literature student. So I hope you all have understood the life, legacy, and some exam points of Charles Dickens. Have a good time. Bye bye.